Hello and welcome back. This is going to be the weekly market outlook update. If you are looking for membership and looking for trade setup, just simply go to wave-trader.com and check the membership levels. And if you're looking for further information, just simply fill that form and send that form to me for further information. I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So let's look at the setups for the upcoming week. All right, before looking at the setups, we're gonna look at a couple of setups on dollar pairs. All right, so dollar is simply getting strong. We all know that Fed is raising the interest rate, looking to tame the inflation, and because of that, dollar is just keep rising. All right, so dollar, pound was dropping against the dollar, euro is about to tag the parity, about to tag the $1 mark. Australian dollar is also dragging lower slowly, so dollar gaining. And New Zealand dollar is also dragging lower. We're gonna have rate decision on the New Zealand dollar this week. All right, and this is the Euro CHF weekly market outlook. So there's gonna be a buy opportunity for longer term. We're gonna look at that too. So dollar is also gaining against the chief right now. Yeah, so we may see further strength on this pair for more upside all the way back to that top, very much similar like that. So we're gonna talk about that too. All right, and yes, there we have dollar CAD 2. All right, so dollar CAD is also pushing more higher. So we're gonna look at the dollar CAD 2 chart. DXY is simply not stopping. All right, so as we know that the dollar is gaining, all right, and DXY is still pushing more higher. Okay, so now let's look at the updated chart for this week. So if I'm gonna look at the bigger time frame chart on the dollar DXY, so DXY still got a potential to push more higher. All right, and the up to which level dollar can go or the XY can go. All right, so going to be decided by the interest rates, up to which level interest rates can push. So if we look at the inflation right now, inflation in the US close to 9%. All right, and there is a still chance that the inflation still can push more higher. All right, and Fed is holding the interest rate close to 2% right now. All right, and it is widely expected that they're going to raise the interest rate in July with another 75 basis point. All right, and right now real rates are running close to 3%. Yeah, and inflation is at 9%, so there is still a lot of gap. Inflation is not dropping, rates are still pushing more higher. So how far these real rates and Fed fund rates goes, that gonna decide up to which level dollar can push. All right, and we are just breaking that previous top. The next leg is just appearing over there. Yeah, so still can push more higher. There is no fundamental reason right now for the dollar to drop till fundamentals change and turn to be bearish for the dollar gonna stay stronger. So when we can expect fundamentals to change, when Fed gonna stop raising the interest rate. All right, so when Fed can stop the interest rate, raising the interest rate, if market hit the recession. All right, so till market hit the recession, dollar gonna stay strong. When Fed gonna either stop, they may use stop and go policy like 1970 inflation was higher too. Fed was raising the interest rate, then stopping, waiting for the inflation to come down. When inflation came down and they stopped so that growth can pick up slightly, then again they were raising the interest rate. So similar kind of strategy Fed is going to use very much likely during this hiking cycle. All right, they can stop at some point and can wait for the inflation to come down, can give some room to the growth can breathe. All right, and again once growth gonna pick up slightly, then again they can start raising the interest rate to bring the inflation down. So that strategy they may use. So till then we may see strength on the dollar. So any deeper pullback, daily pullback, going to be a buy opportunity on the dollar till we see huge fundamental change from Fed side. So what you are simply looking, all right, so still as the dollar index chart, which have DXY chart, which I have just shown, that was a bigger pullback, by the way, daily pullback. That's the dollar chief chart. So as you can see that there was a daily pullback, nice daily pullback, and after that daily pullback you have seen a nice continuation for more upside. So any pullback on this scale gonna be a buy opportunity for short to medium term till we see fundamental change. All right, and any counter trend you take on the dollar gonna be a longer term, sell opportunity on the dollar. But for that, longer term sell opportunity to trigger on the dollar, as I said, fundamental needs to change. All right, so what you are simply looking, a deeper pullback and dollar index to stay short term bullish. All right, so right now we may see a pullback on dollar index up to these areas. All right, so we may see a pullback somewhere there within these areas, and if that gets bigger as shown on the daily time frame, okay, there gonna be again a short to medium term buy opportunity. So the pullback is due on the dollar index. So if I'm gonna look at the euro dollar, so euro dollar is just simply going to parity. All right, so if I'm gonna so if I'm gonna look at the euro dollar monthly chart, so it is very much similar like the dollar index or DXY, right? So we are just simply breaking that previous high. We are breaking that previous high and going to continue for more upside. So if I'm gonna invert that chart, all right, so this is the chart which I'm looking for. Okay, so weekly chart. So we are having that bigger weekly wave over there, which is just which has recently broken down that previous low and still going down towards parity, towards $1 mark. Okay, so there is a good chance that euro dollar can tag $1 or even can slightly go lower than $1. Okay, but that's going to be a longer term buy opportunity when fundamental gonna change. All right, so as I said, right now there is no reason for euro to bounce back for longer term, as we know that Europe is facing energy crisis. All right, so Europe is facing energy crisis. Because of that, euro is just keep falling, and inflation is also high. So Europe is facing some like stagflation. They are facing stagflation, no growth. Inflation is high because of higher energy prices. Energy cost has to come down before you start seeing some strength on the euro. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting euro to do. Yeah, as we have just seen the previous chart, we were expecting this daily drop to happen. So I think on an 8-hour time frame. So there, okay, so this drop is still there. This previous drop, the whole daily drop we are having on the euro. So if I'm gonna look at the euro dollar chart there, so that daily drop is still happening and it's going towards parity. All right, and we still may see more downside on the euro dollar. Okay, and a pullback can happen over there on the euro dollar from 1. Okay, we may see some short-term buying opportunity over there back to that 3 area, 1 or 3K mark. So you shouldn't chase the sell setup over there on the euro dollar, to be honest, at the current levels. Okay, the daily wave has happened. So what you are looking price action on the previous lows at these areas, or at a $1 mark, and short-term trades. Okay, so like these trades, short-term trades. And if it is going to be a quick, sharp, aggressive move, a lot of buyers are emerging over there, and short move is just happening over there, okay, then go all the way up to 103 mark, short-term buy opportunity. Yeah, and if keeps rising, all right, which I'm not anticipating right now for longer term, then you can hold. Otherwise you can, you know, take off your profit at 3 and again can wait for the price to tag 1 or slightly go below 1, and then again you can look for short-term buying opportunity. So short-term buying opportunity till fundamentals, you know, doesn't change, and once fundamental change, then start looking for longer term reversal on the euro dollar. So there is no reason for buying euro dollar for longer term right now. All right, so pound was also similar like the euro dollar. The chart we have just seen over there, okay, we are still within that daily drop is happening over there, and there is a very good chance that pound dollar still can drag more lower up to 118. Okay, so we are having that weekly drop over there. We were expecting, you know, price to start going down from that weekly top, and Brexit crisis we can see over there, COVID-19 crisis, and maybe, you know, once these crises gonna pass on, these might be a food crisis or energy, you know, higher energy cost crisis. Yeah, so, or stagflation, whatever the reasons gonna be over there. Once we're gonna pass on, then people gonna start seeing that that was the reason, and we have a recession because of that. We are already in recession, all right? So some officials are not realizing. So people in UK, they are realizing, specifically the officials. So Bank of England realized that we are already, you know, we are going to see higher inflation at the end of this year. So less growth, okay? So means that UK is already, Europe and UK, both are already in recession, okay? But a couple of other countries, they are lagging, all right? And soon they're gonna start going down to the Europe and the UK, and that's the reason officials still not accepting that we are in a recession. So we're gonna have GDP data this week in the US, and if that turns negative, then they're gonna be debate that we are in a recession. All right, so I believe that we are already in a recession because prices have, you know, hit peak of the previous 2020 crash, which is a sign that market is, you know, world is already in recession. So what you are looking, so there is no, you know, a good opportunity right now on the pound for selling for longer term or medium term for the downside. Okay, so we may see, you know, a breakout of this previous low, and then we can see, you know, breakout, and then we may see a deeper pullback. So this is not there yet. All right, so all countries want stronger currency to bring the inflation down, okay, but US is winning right now, so Fed is winning right now. So we still may see more downside before reversal. So what you are simply looking, pound to just keep dragging more lower slowly until fundamentals change. You know, you are not looking this to give you a bigger buy opportunity. All right, so there was a short-term sell opportunity there, and there. So there as well, we were expecting this to continue to keep dragging more lower in our, you know, room. So we are having these short-term, you know, breakouts, and we were still expecting this to keep dragging more lower. So looking for this to keep dragging more lower, break that previous low or slightly new low up to 118 or 117 area, and then again pull back, very much similar like the euro dollar chart which I have just shown you. A pullback is due on euro dollar from 1. So if euro bounce back from 1 and go up to 3, then there's going to be a short-term buy opportunity on the pound dollar too. All right, so pound dollar, and if I'm going to look at the dollar CAD or dollar CHF first, all right, so dollar CHF going to be a buy opportunity for short-term, for continuation, for more upside. All right, and there is a good chance that the dollar CHF still can run for more upside. So let's just simply go to the lower time frame. So you are looking similar kind of a move over there, as I said on the idea which I've just shown you. So just keep pushing more higher, and you know, all these corrections to just keep pushing more higher. So if correction is going to be a bit deeper, then that's going to be a perfect short-term buy opportunity, something like that, all right? And price right now, price is just trying to break out for more upside. Okay, so you're looking this to slightly pull back and sit within the moving averages and continue to keep breaking more upside like it has done over there, and continue to keep pushing more higher. So a 1 hour time frame correction and price to just continue to keep pushing more higher. All right, so continue to keep pushing more higher the dollar CHF. So that's the dollar CHF. And dollar CAD, they're gonna be a crash, but not in sight yet. Okay, very much similar like that. All right, as we can see that many charts like euro dollar, and if I'm gonna look at the pound dollar, all right, so let's just put pound dollar on it. All right, so there we can see, so pound is already testing the 2020 March 2020 crash. It is close to those areas. Okay, so Brexit crisis and COVID crisis and maybe energy or food crisis, pound is going down because they are not they are depending on energy from other countries. All right, but Canada, they have got their own energy sources, which is the reason CAD is still staying strong. All right, so oil producing country, CAD is not falling. All right, but once we're going to see that the oil price is going to come down, so we may see a quick drop on that, a quick rise on the dollar against the CAD. Okay, and the lag, which is just over there, that lag gonna be taken out. So what you are looking simply right now, price is struggling to break through that 131 area, and we are going to have a rate the CN this week on the dollar, on the CAD. So which is slightly bullish for the CAD, but I don't see a big move after having interest rate hike on the CAD. All right, and as I said, the longer term direction of the dollar on the CAD gonna be that, all right, and that gonna happen when we're gonna have a crash on oil prices, when oil prices gonna come down, when Canada not gonna have edge for higher oil prices. So what you are looking for that to break out. We were expecting this breakout to happen. That breakout happened already, but it didn't continue. We were expecting it to continue to keep pushing more higher, so that didn't happen. So breakout happened, but it didn't continue. All right, so the reason is very much simple why we are not having more upside on the dollar against the CAD, because both countries do not depend much on the energy from other countries. All right, both have their own energy sources, US and Canada, and that's the reason dollar and CAD moving sideways rather than trending like the euro or like the pound. Okay, so what you are looking, if we are going to see a pullback, a deeper pullback somewhere within these areas, rather than buying the breakout, do not look for that kind of setup over there. So let the price to fall back within these areas, and you're looking it to continue to keep pushing more higher. So you still can trade for short term for these moves, all right, back to these areas. But those trades, as I said, going to be against the longer term bullish trend, all right, which is going to be over there, with fundamentals for more upside. All right, in case if the drop is going to get deeper back within these areas, again going to be a longer term buy opportunity, as I said. All right, like pound dollar chart. So a deeper pullback needed over there on the dollar CAD for more upside rather than trading at the current prices. Okay, it can break out and can continue, but you shouldn't chase that at the current price. So better to wait for the price to fall a bit deeper, and then you go on for a short to medium term buy opportunity. All right, so Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. So we had rate the CN on the Australian dollar last week. There is the interest rate. There is a good chance that Australian dollar gonna still keep sliding down. All right, so I have just inverted that chart, so it still can keep sliding down, but you don't have a perfect opportunity for sell on it. All right, and as I said, recession is a done deal. So if I'm gonna look at the yield curve is you know, suggesting that the recession is just simply going to come out. So it's a matter of time. It's coming, all right? So it's a matter of time. Okay, when this is going to happen. Okay, there we can see. So recession. Just recent we have seen recession in, you know, March 2020 there, all right? And it's just simply setting for another recession. So this is not, the yield curve is not lying, right? So everything else is just lying. If people are saying that, or officials saying that, obviously, you know, Fed is not going to accept that we are in a recession, right? They want recession. Yeah, so without recession, they cannot bring inflation down. So they want recession, they want slower growth, they want, you know, labor market to slow down so that inflation can calm down. So the yield curve is not lying. Yield curve is telling us that what is going to happen after 5-6 months. That's the reason many risk on assets are just keep, you know, crashing, keep falling. So they are setting up, they're preparing for the recession. All right. So if I'm going to go back to the Australian dollar, so Australian dollar is also setting up for that, all right, and can continue to keep dragging lower slowly, like pound dollar has done or euro dollar has just done. Okay, there is no buy opportunity like that into that direction. This is not there, all right. And for that move to happen, Fed has to be dovish, all right. They have to be, Fed has to be dovish and has to keep interest rate at low levels for longer term before we're going to see that kind of move. All right, fundamental needs to change. So there is no buying for that direction yet. Okay, and only you can expect price to just keep dragging lower slowly the way it is doing right now, and not major change. Just keep dragging. And once there's going to be a deeper pullback like dollar index chart, okay, so then there's going to be a more continuation trade. So I'm not expecting a bigger change or bigger move right now on the Australian dollar. Just keep dragging lower slowly. So you don't have a perfect opportunity right now. So it can keep dragging lower up to 66 during this week. All right, and same goes with the New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So there's going to be a rate on the New Zealand dollar this week. If New Zealand dollar gets stronger after that rate decision, which I'm not anticipating, I'm not anticipating a big move on the New Zealand dollar. So still going to be a sell opportunity. So right now, just keep dragging slowly. If this is going to happen, still going to be a continuation opportunity for more downside. All right, so it is also similar like the other charts. All right, so we may see breakout of this previous low, which is about to happen. Okay, and it can keep dragging lower all the way up to 59 or 58 area. So there is no buying opportunity on it. All right, no selling opportunity specifically on the dollar yet. All right, so these are the dollar pair. Now let's look at the others and mixed. All right, and I'll go through one by one quickly. So Luna C just bounced back. We were expecting this to rise within from this previous low. If you do remember the previous, it was Luna but turned Luna C. All right, and I'm still expecting it to just keep dragging lower, find its floor over there like it has done over there. Okay, so there's going to be a short to medium term buy opportunity back to that, and in possible best case scenario for long term buy opportunity. So this is not going to rise somewhere close to $1 or it dropped from 100 or above 100. So this is not going to go there because the supply is close to 7 trillion. So you need a lot of market cap for the Luna C to continue to keep rising for more upside. So just short-term buying on it, all right? And Luna, Luna still can go more downside. So it still can drag. So this is the new coin, new blockchain. Luna Foundation has invented after the Luna C crash, all right? And it still can drag more lower before we're gonna see a lot of crypto coins are setting up for a big longer term buy opportunity. But as I said, you're not gonna see strength on the crypto market till you see ultra loose monetary policy from central banks. All right, till then you're not gonna see a big run for upside. All right, so wheat also dragging for more downside. As I was saying to you guys, you're going to see a huge crash on these commodities. All right, and that crash is just happening over there because central banks are going after these inflationary commodities or inflationary items, they want them to come down. So we are having a crash on the wheat. Wheat is just crashing. So I'm anticipating, wheat to just keep crashing. Any pullback going to be a sell opportunity. All right. So if you are looking wheat, then you are looking wheat to, hold that for our correction like it has done over there and just keep breaking back to that low or longer term to the downside. So wheat to continue to keep dragging more lower. So oil going to be interesting this week. All right. Why oil going to be interesting this week? Because we are going to see Biden in Middle East this week. All right. And Biden may ask Saudis to Biden may ask Saudis to bring more oil in supply. So I'm searching, oil chart. So oil, I don't see oil going much higher from such areas, such prices, because oil very much has done its bullish run. Okay, and now it's dragging. It's dropping, very much similar like other commodities like copper. Copper is going down, so you shouldn't expect oil to just keep rising for more upside. So oil found its top for longer term and it's dropping right now. Market is very much tight for the oil. Okay, we do not have enough supply, which is causing the oil to still stay a bit strong. So Biden is in the Middle East. He's asking Saudis to do something to bring oil supply in the market and bring the oil prices down. If that happens, then we may see oil to continue to keep dragging more downside. So this week I'm anticipating oil to just tag $90 mark, all right? And in best case scenario, like we have seen on the copper, the way copper broken down on this chart, all right? So we may see oil can break down too. So there you can see the copper has broken out longer term bullish from March 2020. It has broken down that longer term trend and just keep crashing lower. So if I'm going to look at that weekly chart or 2-week chart, we are having crash from that previous top on copper. So it's a very good indication that growth is slowing down and the recession is coming, and it's just crashing. So the question is, are we going to see that kind of crash, a slow crash, slow drop on copper, which is not looking right now, or we are going to see a quick sharp drop like 2008? All right, that can happen if Fed is going to keep raising the interest rate. All right, then it can keep falling aggressively the way it is doing right now, all the way. So if they're gonna use stop and go strategy, then we may see a slow drop. Okay, so slow drop like that. A drop is on its way. Okay, this is suggesting that oil drop is also on its way. Oil is also crashing in coming weeks to months. Okay, very much similar structure. So 2008 or 9, and then slow drop, and then 2020 crash and peaked inflationary, cycle, and starting to set up for a big drop. So oil is simply setting up for a big drop. So what you are looking for this week, so this 4-hour time frame correction to break down and continue to keep dragging more downside. So there's going to be a sell opportunity, right? This opportunity. So if it doesn't continue, then let this to push up slightly for another leg. Okay, push up, go up to there, that top, and then again keep dragging more downside. Okay, this is going to be the trade. So once price hit the 90, we may not see breakdown of that 90. I'm expecting oil to break below 90. All right, so inflation expectations are pointing much lower price on oil. So inflation expectations are telling us that oil may drag much lower. So let's try to pull out the US oil chart. Let's just pull out if it comes. All right, so inflation expectations are pointing out that the oil still needs to go down. Even other commodities, as I said, wheat, copper, many other commodities are suggesting that oil is still holding highs and needs to go down. So oil needs to drag. Okay, and commodity index is also dragging lower. So I have just shown you the oil chart. So if I'm gonna look at the commodity, and there, so commodity index is just crashing. All right, so it started to crash, it found its top over there, so crashing. So more downside is still there on commodities. So there are commodities in this index. So oil is the highest percentage, so that's the reason it's dropping, but dropping a bit slow because of the oil. So similar like oil. Okay, breakdown, go higher and then drop, or break down and continue to keep dragging more lower within the moving averages. So when this chart comes within the moving averages, all right, so the commodities which are included in this index, they're gonna come, highly likely they're gonna come back within the moving averages too, and gonna continue to keep dragging more lower. Very much similar kind of pattern gonna be over there on other commodities like copper, oil, and wheat. All right, like wheat is already getting back within the moving averages. So oil is also sitting over there. So there are many other commodities which also going to go back for correction. So copper is also similar like that. So we were expecting copper to crash. If I'm going to look at the copper chart, so let's try to find that copper chart quickly. Okay, so we gotta finally drop on copper. So we got a breakout and copper is pushing more lower. So breakout is just happening over there on the copper. So if I'm gonna look at the weekly chart, I have just already seen, guys. Okay, so we are going down on the copper and going down much more. All right, so we are 2016 growth went down, 2020 crash, 2009 crash. Yield curve is already suggesting that growth is slowing down and we are going to see recession. Okay, and copper is not going to rise anymore. Copper is an inflationary item. Okay, and tells us about the health of the economy. All right, so this is telling us that it is being used less than it was since March 2020 in industrial sector. So economy is just simply slowing down. The global economy is just simply slowing down or heading towards recession. So continuation to the downside simply. Okay, another correction is just forming over there. So you're looking for right now this tiny top, okay, for short term to break down. If it gets bigger, then go slightly more higher, get back within the moving averages, hold those tops, these tops, okay, and continue to keep dragging more lower, okay, within these areas, and again continue to keep dragging more downside. So it can go up to 50 for the next leg, but I'm anticipating it to go all the way up to yes, 250 there, the average price. Okay, this is the average price where it can see 250 to 60, and in best case scenario the two gonna be the extreme lows. Bitcoin is also dragging more downside. People were expecting that Bitcoin just gonna keep rising. So let's just try to find a weekly chart if I'm gonna able to find. So there is the daily chart. So we are still in that trend. Simply that daily trend is just happening over there. So what we can expect, is it ready to go for long? No, Bitcoin is not ready. First of all, fundamentals need to change before Bitcoin start pushing for more upside. Okay, they are not changing yet. Till when they're gonna change? When Bitcoin gonna be ready to buy? When Fed gonna stop raising the interest rate? When they're gonna stop? Or they're gonna start cutting the interest rate? So we are not there yet. Okay, we are far away from ultra loose monetary policy cycle. So when ultra loose monetary policy cycle gonna start? When recession gonna hit and Fed gonna roll back its hawkish policy cycle. All right, so that we are not there yet. So till then, if you are buying, you have to hold it for very long time before you're gonna see start rising on the Bitcoin. What's happening? Yes, Bitcoin is getting cheap, all right, and there is a very good chance that it can get more cheaper. All right, so right now it's expensive to mine Bitcoin at the current price. The mining cost is more than the current price. All right, so which means that we are somewhere close to bottom. All right, so there is still chance that it can drag up to 15, and in worst case scenario up to 10. So it's trying to find its bottom, but bottom is not there yet. So this is the correction which you are looking right now, and the price, can stay over there within that correction for a while before we're gonna see another leg lower. Okay, so we may see a drag and another push up back to that top, and then again it can drag lower. All right, so this is the structure which is clearly showing us that the strength is not there yet. So same thing happened on Ethereum. Ethereum is also dragging more lower, okay, and there is a very good chance that Ethereum can continue its bearish trend for a while. So same structure, same analysis like Bitcoin. If anyone fall first, like Ethereum fall first, then Bitcoin gonna follow up. If Bitcoin fall first, Ethereum gonna follow up. So there is no buying yet on these Bitcoins. Okay, we still may see short-term pressure from more downside on these coins. So BNB is also very much similar like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So these coins are setting up for a longer term buy opportunity. All right, they are setting up, but they're not ready yet. Okay, so simply last time, okay, if I'm gonna look at the previous bearish cycle, okay, so previous bearish cycle took almost 900 days before you got a rise over there. So if you're gonna start buying them, you may be in this position, in this situation right now. Okay, when OITA and many other coins were trying to find its bottom, and they still went lower, and there is the last bottom, the last low, March 2020 we have seen, and then after that we have seen just strength. So you may be in this early stage. So if you're looking something like that kind of looking like this kind of move, all right, so it may be too early to go for long on the crypto. All right, you may have to wait for that kind of 2-3 year bearish cycle or cold cycle. Okay, prices may stay over there, and then once we're gonna have some fundamental reasons, then we may see another bullish cycle. So that's not there yet. Hope that makes sense. So they still can keep dragging more lower. Let them keep dragging more lower. Let them as much cheap as they can, and then start looking for them. You see that still got a room. Okay, you still got a room to get more cheaper. So same kind of analysis is going to be over there almost on all coins. Okay, they are coming down, they can come down, and they can test the previous March 2020 lows. All right, it's almost all these are the very well known coins. All right, and they may survive again during this cycle, this cold cycle. So the coins which I'm looking right now, all right, so they can survive. So they are sitting, coming back to the bottom. All right, like ADA, and ADA is also, ADA can fall more before going to rise. So Dogecoin also can fall more. Yeah, so similar structure is going to be over there. Okay, similar pattern is there. All right, so similar pattern is going to be there. So now let's look at the inflation expectations. So I'm expecting inflation expectations to fall further downside. Okay, so come close to 2%. So yes, we may see some bounce off there at 230 or 225, but I'm expecting it to just keep falling all the way up to 2. All right, so 10-year break even inflation rate to fall close to 2.2. All right, and 5. So Euro CHF gonna be a buy opportunity for short to medium and longer term. Okay, so we are running slightly below that one, below the parity. So if I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, then you are simply looking for this to short-term trade first, because these gonna be the short-term trade, these short-term trades, and once price sharply rise, then go further higher up to 110 for longer term. All right, 110 is far away right now. So CAD CHF is not a best trade right now. Okay, CAD CHF longer term gonna be a sell opportunity on the CAD CHF, but right now, as we know that there is going to be a recession on the CAD. Okay, so it may still push more higher back to that top, very much similar like the dollar CHF chart. Okay, it can test that top, and again we can see a sell opportunity over there. So ignore this arrow. So more upside on the CAD CHF. So yields might have found top over there at 245. All right, but still too early to say that the yields are topping out for longer term. All right, so there are going to be a buying opportunities on the bonds. Okay, so same goes with the 10-year yield. So longer term yields are topping out, that's for sure. Okay, but short term yields still can push more higher. That's the reason we are having inversions. Yield curves are inverting because short term yields still can push more higher, and the yield curve can get more deeper. So there are going to be a longer term sell opportunity on the dollar against the yen. So yen is going to be a longer term buy opportunity. The reason why it's not ready yet, because Bank of Japan is having yield curve control, means printing more money, buying bonds, trying to create inflation, while the other central banks are trying to go for deflation. All right, tightening monetary policy. We are having tremendous divergence between these major banks. All right, and till Bank of Japan stop its yield curve control, we may see some further weaknesses on the yen. But once Bank of Japan gonna stop its yield curve control, that's gonna be a trigger point for longer term trend reversal on the yen, and we may see a huge aggressive sell-off once that is going to happen. That's for sure. We are going to see a huge longer term strength on the yen in coming weeks to months. All right, so that's what we have seen in 1970. Similar policy, Fed was using stop and go, raising the interest rate, yen went lower, and once they stopped, we have seen drop on the dollar against the yen from, I think, from 250 to 75. That was the low. So a huge longer term sell cycle was there on the dollar against the yen. So similar kind of structure going to be over there, similar strategy, everything is just similar from the central banks. Still short term push up can happen till, as I said, Bank of Japan needs to stop yield curve control once we see strength on the yen. So I'm expecting a huge longer term cycle on the yen, which is just due over there, because the recession is going to hit. All right, so once the recession is already there, so yen cannot keep falling while you are having so inflation needs to come down from 9%. That's what everyone is looking. So when inflation gonna start falling, you're gonna start seeing strength on the yen. So a huge drop on the dollar against the yen. So right now it's not ready. Still, gonna be a counter trend trade because it's trying to push more higher. Okay, this is gonna be a short-term trade, and once a huge aggressive drop comes over there, that's for sure. That drop going to be driven by fundamentals by Bank of Japan. Bank of Japan needs to change its policy. Once they're going to change their policy, all right, then reversal is going to happen over there. So till then, some other currencies, they are struggling. All right, they are struggling. So if I'm going to, pull out my New Zealand dollar chart on this. So this is the divergence. All right, so that's the divergence between the central banks. So till that, everything was just fine, no divergence between the policy, and then we have seen divergence between the policy within this area. Fed started to raise the interest rate, dollar started to gain. All right, dollar started to gain, and Bank of Japan, they went for ultra loose monetary policy, trying since then. All right, since 2021, they are trying to create the inflation, and recently they introduced the yield curve control, and divergence is just getting bigger. So as I said, dollar is not going to fall anytime soon. There is no fundamental reason for the New Zealand dollar to rise against the dollar for more upside. We are going to see, change in policy from the Bank of Japan rather than change from the Fed. Okay, and this is gonna there's gonna be a huge drop, huge strength on yen in coming days to months, and may take some years as well. So there's gonna be a longer term, a buy opportunity on the yen. So this divergence is not going to stay over there forever, all right? And that's gonna be taken out. So what you are simply looking for, kiwi against the yen to fall, specifically after the rate C. And so right now, inflation expectations are pointing out that we may see drop up to these areas. Okay, so you're looking trade first of all this place, all right, and if the drop is going to happen aggressively, then all the way back to that low, and in best case scenario, take these March lows out. Okay, New Zealand dollar is taking right now, testing these March lows. So there is a huge divergence between the central banks, between the Bank of Japan and Fed. So same goes with the other charts. I don't think so I need to pull out. Let's just pull out. All right, so there you can see there is a huge divergence. All right, so that huge divergence needs to get off. Okay, so if I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, very much similar like the New Zealand dollar, you are looking this to take out these lows where the inflation expectations are telling us. Inflation expectations are telling us that price to fall aggressively. There is a chance that another leg higher can appear over there like that. All right, like this leg, and then again it can drop, but I'm not anticipating that to happen. All right, so you are looking, change from a policy change from Bank of Japan, and this to just keep dragging more lower. So same goes with the euro yen to fall too. All right, and continue to keep dragging more lower. Okay, so you are looking that to drop to the way my arrows are showing. Same goes with the chief yen, 4-hour time frame to continue to keep dragging more lower. All right, or possible another push higher. So CAD yen, similar from that top to fall very, very aggressively lower. Pound yen, very much similar. All right, like other yen pairs, breakdown or slightly push back to that top and then drag. So there is a huge divergence. All right, so as I said, huge divergence between the yen pairs and the dollar pairs. So they are pointing out that we are going to see a cyclical buying on the yen once there's going to be a policy change from Bank of Japan. So this to break down to continue to keep dragging lower, and yes, rand to fall too. Yes, these areas to test. So breakout and SEC to break down to that 4-hour time frame, and continue to keep dragging more lower all the way back to these lows. So Australian dollar we have already seen, Kiwi seen. All right, so pound seen, Kiwi CAD. Okay, so Kiwi CAD is not ready to buy. Kiwi CAD can drag more downside. Okay, very much similar like 2008 financial crisis. All right, we have seen tremendous weaknesses on the Kiwi against the CAD because of the higher energy prices. All right, and still similar kind of situation we may see, drop, because we are having rate decision in both currencies this week. So I don't see huge changes going to come on these two currencies this week. All right, so a deeper pullback can happen, but still going to be a continuation trade. Same goes with the Uzi CAD, rate decision going to be on CAD, and we may see another leg lower, okay, or deeper pullback, and then again gonna continuation to the downside. So Euro Oz, a buy opportunity going to be over there once some good news going to come over there from the the Europe, okay, specifically for the natural gas, all right, because there's going to be a maintenance closure for this week on Nord Stream 1. That's driven already euro lower, okay, and once going to be a good news there from that side, we may see strength over there and buying going to be over there on euro against the Oz. And same goes with the euro New Zealand dollar, short-term buying opportunity from these previous lows, okay, these previous lows. Right, pound, not a best pair against the Aussie, okay, but they're going to be a longer term buy opportunity on these three currencies. Time is not there yet, okay, some uncertainties are there, you know, right now on pound, okay, they're going to be a longer term buy opportunities. So longer term buy opportunity going to be over there on the pound CAD. That's not ready yet. Okay, there are a lot of crises in the UK right now. Political crisis. New prime minister is going to come. So not ready yet. So Aussie Chief continuation to the downside. We may see more downside. All right, like Australian dollar and US dollar. So Australian dollar, US dollar still dragging more lower, and it can continue to keep dragging more downside all the way back to this previous areas, previous lows. All right, and there where the pound, where the Australian dollar, US dollar is, you know, testing. So it may take a lot of time to go over there, okay, not in a one go. So UK oil is very much similar like the WTI. US oil, 4-hour time frame correction to break down and continue to keep dragging more lower and break down this previous low. All right, so 4-hour time frame continuation to the downside. All right, so if I'm gonna look at the indices to go down to all right, so indices to drop to, so one more leg lower on the Nikkei index. So one more leg lower on the S&P 500 to break the previous low or slight push more higher and then drop. Same goes with the Nasdaq 100 index. So Bitcoin is leading to you which way these indices going to go, specifically the Nasdaq 100 index. So, you know, Bitcoin is dropping and highly likely you're going to see that the Nasdaq 100 index is going to drop to this move, okay, the move which you are having over there, because both are highly correlated right now. That correlation is still there. So till that correlation is still there, you are looking Nasdaq 100 index to keep just pushing more downside. Okay, so Euro CAD gonna be a longer term buy opportunity. As I said, right now, you know, recession in the Europe, which is causing this to keep dragging more lower, but there's gonna be a huge longer term buy opportunity. It is setting up for that, and it will come. It's a matter of time. All right, so not ready yet. It will come. Okay, it may take some time. You are looking for that. All right, so pound chief to just keep pushing more lower. So if I'm gonna look at the 4-hour time frame, keep dragging slowly to the downside like Aussie chief and continue to keep pushing more lower. Euro pound, okay, may drag more lower back to this previous low, and there again we may see a buying opportunity. All right, at the 82 mark, 82 area, longer term buy opportunity gonna be over there. So Kiwi chief to keep dragging more lower too. Breakdown similar like the Aussie chief, we may see some more strength because of the rate hike, all right, like that, or like the Aussie chief or the CAD chief, which I have just shown you on both pairs, Aussie chief and Kiwi chief. But once that strength gonna be over, we may see more downside. So there are gonna be a longer term sell opportunities on this pair, all right, and you are simply looking this weekly time frame chart and watching price actions on lower time frame, and prices just keep dragging more downside on the Aussie. So dollar peso longer term buy opportunity at 1950. Okay, next leg higher. Chinese yuan is finally falling very aggressively. That's what I was telling you when it was there. All right, if you do remember that. Okay, so finally we got a boom, a quick sharp aggressive run for the upside, and it's just simply setting up for more upside. Okay, and you are looking for this to continue to keep pushing more higher on your lower time frame, daily time frame. Price is, you know, trying to hold this previous low at 1665, okay, and continue its bullish trend for more upside. So dollar rand is also running So all these charts are, you know, telling you that what is going to come. Okay, we are going to see recession. These are running for the next leg. All right, that's the, you know, inflationary cycle, and this is going to be a deflationary cycle, we can say that, or recessionary cycle. Okay, this was the previous one, March 2020, and the dollar went higher. Okay, dollar is going higher because of the tightening from the Fed, and there is no insight yet up to which level Fed can go to bring down the inflation to restore its credibility, you know. So still going to be a bullish, you know, momentum over there on dollar, specifically against the emerging market currencies. Emerging market currencies is going to struggle because of the debt load they have, all right, and struggling to pay off their debts. So any pullback you see over there are going to be a buy opportunity for more upside all the way up to the previous weekly high. All right. So European stock is still struggling, short-term continuation to the downside. Not a big opportunity, just one more leg lower. So US 32, one more leg lower. Slowly, just keep dragging more downside. We don't have a buy opportunity yet on them, and a short-term continuation to the downside on these stocks. So gold can break down. So there is a chart, okay, which is pointing out that we may see huge drop on gold. Okay, let me bring that chart. So central banks are raising the interest rate, we know that, all right, and the yield, the US 10-year real yield is pointing out that we are going to see a huge, you know, liquidity crisis very soon on metals, specifically on the gold. Okay, gold is still holding, so we may see a quick sharp sell-off, liquidity crisis, very much similar like that. Okay, which we have seen somewhere there. All right, so yield, US 10-year real yield is pointing out that liquidity crisis may emerge over there because Fed is trying to take liquidity away from the market. Liquidity is drying up because they want inflation to come down. So we may see a quick sharp sell-off on the gold at some point. So it's pointing out. So gold still a short-term bearish, even longer-term bearish. Okay, we don't have a buy opportunity yet. So we may see a breakout over there and continuation to the downside. If you are good enough, then you are looking for that breakout and it to continue to keep dragging lower all the way up to 1650. All right. If not good to chase that breakout, then let the price pull back, something like that. All right. And then you are looking for more downside from here when price come back within the moving average, or we're going to see a nice deeper pullback. All right. So you are having that. So same goes with the silver. Silver is also pointing out that yield is pointing out that the silver can go much lower. Liquidity crises are going to be over there. Okay, and then again, longer term buy opportunity going to be over there. So silver can visit those areas again, 1350 or 14 areas. All right. So other commodities are also crashing, and you are looking them to just keep crashing. All right. So corn to drop for longer term to the downside, and cotton to drop for longer term to the downside. So cotton is also following the wheat, okay, and can go more downside, long way to go. So soybean is also needs to come down. All right. So okay, so thank you very much. Enough for this week. We'll see you back again with with another weekly market outlook. Until then, bye.